Ouch. Briar, ow, ow, ow. I'm in North Georgia. I'm going uphill. The trail is basically an overgrown mess. And I've got a balky water filter. The Sawyer's flow rate is awful. I don't know why. It was fine when I put it up. I back flushed it. Put it up several months ago, let it dry out, and I'm afraid when it dries out, I don't know, the minerals in the water crystallize or something, and now I've got a flow rate that's horrible. May cut this short, I don't know. I'm going to go with it, see what I can get done, because I need to be by myself for a while and out in these scary and overgrown woods. Normally I don't hike in the summertime, and I thought maybe I might be missing something, so I'd come out and do it. And this hike has convinced me that I'm not missing a thing. The trails are way overgrown, hard to spot. Can't tell where I'm stepping. Hard to see snakes and stuff. It's hot. The bugs are out. And it's just miserable hiking conditions. So, the heck with you, August. And it's starting to rain a little bit. Clouds overcast there. There's a patch of sunlight way off over there. And then dark here, and then dark up here. Not raining real heavy though. Hiking isn't always beautiful views and rocky outcrops and sunny days. Sometimes it's slogging through the undergrowth, hoping you don't step on a snake and picking ticks off your legs. Despite repeated back flushing, the filter's not doing any better. Taking about 30 minutes to even filter a liter, so that's going to slow me down. I can hear a thunderstorm rolling in. So I think what I'm going to do is head about another mile down the trail, see if I can find somewhere to camp. If it looks good, I may stop early. That'll be about 3:30, 4 o'clock. Especially if it's raining, I'll go ahead and stop. Otherwise, I may just push on till it starts raining, stop, set up camp, and decide tomorrow whether to cut it short or stay out another day. I don't feel like fighting that filter though. That really sucks. That is the hornet's nest that I just stepped in while I was putting up camp. I gotta let them settle down. I only got stung twice, but I gotta let them settle back down, and then I gotta pull everything up and move. Oh boy, what a day. Alrighty then, moved away from the wasp, went about 500 yards down the trail, set up again, and as soon as I got the tarp staked down, here came the rain. So I cooked supper under the tarp. I've just finished eating. I've hung my bear bag, not the best hang, but it'll do, I hope. About 7 o'clock, I'm a little tired. One new thing I will mention, since it's stone cold obvious, instead of taking a bug net for the hammock, I'm going to try a head net and cover the rest of me with the top quilt, and we'll see how that works to keep the skeeters off tonight. We'll see you in the morning. Good morning and welcome to day 2. I'm making coffee. My water filter situation has made me rethink my goals, because grabbing water should be like a 3 to 5 minute proposition, but with the flow rate through the Sawyer right now, it's more like a 30-minute proposition. That means if I stop only twice for water, it's a whole hour gone. I have to rethink my goals here. So I think what I'm going to do is instead of heading on out on the Duncan Ridge, I'm going to backtrack to the AT and go south and not go all that far. And go ahead and stay the planned number of days, but not do the mileage that I was thinking about doing. So instead, I'm just going to walk uphill for a long, long time. Entirely too much of the trail looks like this. Not even sure I'm on the trail until I come up on the blue markers on the trees, and then yeah, that's the trail. Yeah, that's why I hate August. And as this little trip comes to an end on this second night, it's time for the lessons learned part. So let's talk about some of the stuff that did work and how I've been sleeping. Whoopee slings, DIY, I made those. The hammock is an 11-foot netless from Dutch. One thing that worked really well was a poncho liner underquilt for these temperatures in the 60s. Match that with a poncho liner top quilt and you've got cheap warm insulation. I also threw in my DIY underquilt protector, probably not really necessary, but it knocked some of the wind down. And finally there's the gear sling. Made that as well. I've got it hung on the ridge line. My thought was that the pack could stay there at night. It would be off the ground and out of the rain because it's under the tarp, which I don't have set yet. Which is true, but so what? I don't really need to get anything out of the pack, so I don't have to have it that handy. It stays just as dry on the ground under the hammock, wrapped in my Tyvek, which I bring anyway, so I'm not yet sold on the gear sling. And speaking of gear and equipment, as we were last night, everything I brought worked out pretty well, except for the water filter. I'll figure that out when we get home. And my own performance needs some work. I'm a little rusty. I need to get out more often and practice those backpacking skills that we all love. But it's not going to be in August again. So if somebody like me can come out here and make mistakes and still survive, you can too. Why don't you try it? We'll see you out on the trail in the woods. So till the next video, I'll see you.